Are you looking angry when you're not? Are people thinking that you look unapproachable or disturbed? This video is for you. Let's talk today about the 11s. That's the area in between the brows. Sometimes you might notice you're getting two lines in your skin that are there at rest. They're kind of etched in. You're going to be happy to know skincare and 2 or 3 other things you can do at home inexpensively are going to be included in the video. Now, this area makes people look angry or untoward when they're not. And in most cases, that's not a good thing. It makes you unapproachable. This tension area, so it holds tension. It also is a nidus, so where things start for your migraines, for your headaches. So many new people are in the skincare game, and this area, no matter what they do with the skincare, it just doesn't get better. So today I'll go through some options, what to do, what I do in my clinic, and what maybe you should avoid doing to get rid of these lines. Number 1, skincare. And I'm going to talk about things you likely already have at home, so you're not going to have to buy anything more. But before we dive deep into the skincare, understand the more you train yourself not to frown, not to frown while you're reading the paper, which you do every morning, right? Not to frown while you're walking down the street or running, and you should be in neutral mode, relax mode. Not to frown while you're talking to people or working out at the gym. Oh, you don't know what I mean? You've seen it. Check this out. That's just going to lead to lines. These are very common scenarios where we frown and we don't need to. So train yourself not to. But when we're talking skincare, understand that the frown area is part of your T zone, your oil zone. Now, your moisturizer, you already have that at home. So that's great. And you might have one with ceramides that moisturize. You might have one like mine with a high content of organic seed oils, grape seed oil, rosemary leaf extract, jojoba oil. Combinations are always better. When we go to specific products, there's one called Revox Line Relaxer. You all know about peptides. It has peptides that act like Botox, and it slows down the muscle movement. You can use it without Botox or with Botox. As a standalone, just without any injections, it can work very well. Another one you think of is argireline, and I know many of you are on pure argireline. My hyaluronic acid has argireline built in, and hyaluronic acids are great as topicals in this area too, but argireline, however you're taking it, is a peptide that can help slow down the movement. So why is slowing down the movement so important? Well, check this picture out. Here's full movement and here's decreasing the movement. And when you decrease the movement, you decrease the lines, you decrease the muscle hypertrophy, as we call it, meaning the muscle isn't thick and strong. It slows down a little bit, and that in turn removes the lines and the untoward look. So that's what movement has to do with all of this. Key. The difference between Revision's line relaxer, I have a whole video on that. I'll put it in the links below. It has a group of peptides other than that are PhD studied. So some people prefer that. Some of this, of course, like everything's going to be trial and error. Start as inexpensively as you can and work up. There's one more product I want you to know about because many of you have a retinol at home. And that works well in this zone because, of course, retinols can help with acne, can help with pore size, can help with blackheads, and can exfoliate things like milia. And so they work well here, but let's boost your retinol today. This is a good time to incorporate peel pads. So retinol peel pads, you might have these at home. Many people use them. How many is many? Well, over 70% of my patients use these in their regular skincare routine. This is a great time to learn. Mine also have THD ascorbate in them, so tetrahexyl decyl ascorbate, which is 50 times more potent than regular L-ascorbic acid. And some of these, like mine, might have an antioxidant complex in them. But these are pads that are wet. They're pre-soaked. So I'll have a whole video on how to use these if you're not already using them, but they can be a standalone method in the evening as part of your nighttime routine. Think of them as mini peels. So if you use them consistently every single day, you'll likely have a mini peel. But if you just incorporate them once a week, and something like this comes with 60 pads, so 60 days, 2 months, you're not going to use them every day. So this might last you half a year or a year for some people. And although they're pre-soaked, once you close the container, they stay wet. So that's $1 a week. Use them for 2 to 4 weeks. The majority of people start to see results, but don't just use them in your frown. Use them on your whole face and neck. So very cost-effective way to amp up your retinol dose. So those are some great skincare options, a lot of which you probably already have at home. So when you choose a cold pressed organic seed oil that we talk about on this channel, and I have many videos on, you do not want to use anything too thick like coconut oil. Sunflower oil is a nice one here. More on massage in a couple moments, but think about organic oils. The cold pressed organic seed oil we talked about, under $15 typically, definitely under $20 at the time of this recording. So that's inexpensive as well. Now, as we talk about what to do, I'm also going to talk about what not to do. So we'll do what to do, what not to do. What not to do, I talked to you about hyaluronic acid just now. Well, hyaluronic acid is also in filler. A lot of people think, I'll just fill that line. It's precarious in this area because you could get blindness. You could get the filler in an artery, and then that attaches to your retinal artery and you go blind. Now, it's not the most common thing, of course, in the world, but it's one reason why we just don't simply fill it. Number 2 goes along with your moisturizer. This one's free. We all like free, and it's massage. Not just any massage, however. Just understand, if you're massaging, most facial massages are upwards and you're not overly stretching the skin. A lot of people get confused because lymphatic massage is towards the heart, and that would be downward massage. On the face, think of upward massage. And simply, as you might believe, you're massaging up and laterally. And you can massage that out in the sense that it trains you not to move it, but of course it also helps this complex of muscles. I have all kinds of videos on the muscles involved from my Botox videos and trainings that are on YouTube and aesthetictrainingcenter.com. But massage is free. It works well. And before we go on, of course, comment below with things that you do that are working. If massage is harming you, does it work? Let people know in the comments below because we're learning from each other. Now, what not to do, as we're at number 2, don't use Fibroblast pen. So the Fibroblast pen, just as you might know it from any TikTok or Instagram videos, it really just burns the skin with these little dots, and you're supposed to contract the tissue around it. But the reality is that you get a lot of scarring from it, and people want to use it up here in the frown. The eye heals better, so you see a lot of those videos around the eye. I still don't recommend using it, but definitely don't use it in the frown. Your chance of permanent scarring is very high. So no fibroblasting pen. Some people call it the plasma pen. I use plasma energy in my clinic, but not that type. If you're getting plasma, it should be in a medical clinic. The devices are over 80 to 100 grand. Not something you're going to find on Amazon. Number 3 is face tape. Now, I have a whole video on face taping, and this is certainly anywhere from $3 to under $15 gets you a month supply. Why do I like it for this area? Well, first of all, it's a habit. And when we sleep, we have the same habits sometimes that we have during the day. So you might be frowning at night and not know it. And remember, the lines that create those 11s are from the skin just being continually puckered together. So when we sleep, we're also on a pillow. But by keeping the skin kind of pulled apart, it can help fade the lines and actually just train you not to frown in your sleep. You'll hear in the comments below, a lot of people talk about this. Of course, they're not going to study it. No one's going to really go through a study and bring it to you in some fancy $200 product because there's not enough money in it, because this is very inexpensive. What you don't want to do is use a tape that you're going to be allergic to. You don't want to get irritation from the tape. And of course, you can get acne in that area. Again, it's a T-zone, so just be careful what you use. There's many different forms of tape and frowny type of tape, but a simple quick search will let you know. And I have a complete video. I'll link it up here. And at the end of this video, all about different face tapes, how to use them, and what to do. So for our third what not to do is lasers. Now, nothing wrong with doing a laser here, but it's not going to get rid of your frown. If you lasered enough or deep enough and you really hammered that area, sure, you might resurface it a little bit, but I wouldn't get a laser for that reason, and it is very expensive for what you get. So it's not a recommended treatment. Number 4, we get to the granddaddy of them all, and that is Botox. This is a studied treatment. It's a series of injections, and I'll put a video up here and one at the end on drooping of the forehead, because that's what people are most concerned about, drooping and the safety of Botox. Botox, there's many different ones. Around the world, there's over 200. In America, there's 5 different ones that you can get in general. And they all do the same thing. They slow down that muscle movement that creates a frown. Now, before you click away and go, oh, that's too expensive or I can't afford it, understand the average price for that is around $200 to $400 depending where you live. But here's the thing. You're going to read, oh, it only lasts 3 months, 4 months. For me, I'll treat this area, and I have a strong frown and reason to frown. And I'll treat that area once a year, maybe twice if I'm having a rough year. But the reason it doesn't work and last a year for me, particularly because I use the aforementioned skincare, but also I just have trained myself. When I'm reading, I read a couple studies every morning, and I noticed I wake up early in the morning, you have your coffee, I'm reading a couple studies, and I'm frowning while I'm reading. So I train myself not to. So when you get your treatment in this area, you can't do it for 3 months. You can't make that movement, and it somewhat trains your body. And then you being conscious of it, you building your collagen with your skincare, paying attention to your sunscreens, maintaining your fat pad here in your forehead, that all leads to the reality that most people don't need to come in every 3 months to get it. But Botox is something that works very, very well for this. If the lines are etched in, it can take a couple treatment sessions for the lines to go away. But pretty much always we can remove them when etched in, and then you need less and less treatments as time goes on. What not to do? Another one would be RF microneedling. Not a good treatment here. And of course, you need a perfect provider because you don't want to get rid of your facial fat pads. Definitely watch my videos on facial fat pads and RF microneedling, because losing the fat in your face makes people look older. That's why I have videos on how to restore facial fat. Finally, I'll give you a number 5, because we talked about fillers that can cause occlusion and blindness. Why don't we just fill the area? One good treatment that you can treat in this area that's precarious with vascular supply is PDO threads, polydioxanone threads. And those are threads you see when you hear thread lifting. Those are barbed threads that lift the face, but you can actually use smooth and twisted threads around a needle. You put the needle in, you take it out, and the thread stays in, and you can just put it in those lines to quote unquote fill them. And there's no risk here of vascular occlusion or blindness. Caveat, you have a higher risk of a bruise. So 1 in 10 people will get a sizable bruise, maybe the size of the tip of your finger, and that can last up to 3 to 7 days. So a bruise is way better than blindness. So I do threads for many people who choose those in the frown area, and they can work well. You're now going to want to watch this video on a skincare product for under eye dark circles and puffiness, and one down here all about how to boost your collagen naturally so that you don't get these lines. Stay tuned, keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.